Well, Games Workshop has made great strides in promoting diversity and inclusivity in their new releases, making statements promoting an inclusive community and putting non-white and non-male characters at the forefront of their recent publications. It's a real bad fucking look when you turn around and fire an employee for defending those very ideals. My name is Trevi, and this is Tactical Tortoise, and to be honest, it's not a platform in which I really want to make sweeping political statements. In all honesty, I think a lot of people who do so on small gaming channels suffer from delusions of grandeur, and really I just want to talk about hobby-related news, make fun of Games Workshop's incompetent design and editing staff, and run fun events that let people enjoy Warhammer from the comfort of their own home. But it is difficult to enjoy a hobby when you know that the organization behind it is committed to hypocrisy and the protection of its most toxic, provocative community members. Earlier today, the author Thomas Parrott was terminated from his employment with Black Library, allegedly for poorly representing their brand in statements made on Twitter. Now, before I go too far with this video, I should say that, as far as I can see at this time, Games Workshop or Black Library have not made a statement regarding this news, and so it may be that we only have one half of the story. According to Mr. Parrott, he was fired as a result of an online altercation after speaking out against members of the community who are making death threats over the topic of homosexuality as it relates to fictional goddamn Space Marines. Mr. Parrott joined Black Library's freelance team during their open submission period and has spoken openly about his anxiety and his struggles with mental illness. In interviews, he has described writing sci-fi and speculative fiction as therapeutic and has described his past experiences with Black Library as a dream come true and a bright opportunity to expand on his dream that, at the time of his hiring, he had been considering giving up. In other statements he's made unrelated to this incident, Mr. Parrott has voiced support of progressive movements and his unique take on Astartes sexuality in the 40k universe. None of which matters in this case because it's a dumbass reason to fire someone at any point. For a company that just a few scant weeks ago published a, to some, inflammatory statement all but promising to alienate toxic members of the community, this move appears to be exactly the opposite. And on the heels of shady 9th edition product allocation and broken promises to LGSs, which we should remember are vital outlets for the Warhammer brand that are struggling in the wake of multiple shutdowns, this speaks to the true and vicious hypocrisy of the company. A company that is willing to make the barest gestures in the support of inclusivity to earn karma, but is wholly unwilling to stick to its guns and back them up. And in its failure to do so, it gives both shelter and voice to the most intolerant and abusive corners of its community. Tabletop communities have a special place in gaming where, without the anonymity of online queues, they are free to be warm and welcoming. But Warhammer 40k still has a long way to go before it can truly call itself inclusive. This process will only be elongated without the support of the game's parent company, so it falls to the reasonable members of its player base who must make their voices heard that open-mindedness is the way forward. To that end, you can find links in the description to email Black Library and Games Workshop customer service in response to this issue and advocate for the reinstatement of the author Thomas Parrott. You can also find a link to Mr. Parrott's Coffee account. As a freelancer in the US, he's likely not eligible for unemployment, and with the COVID quarantine currently limiting job options, I'm sure he would appreciate any help that we can provide, which would be a classy move. And as I always say, remember to keep it classy, folks, and have happy wargaming.